Guys, maybe there's an ounce of hope for the future of Chase U still to come. Kale Dixon tonight may have given us that. Now, Hank and Tank were trying to pep talk up Andre Chase. Andre Chase having none of it, saying, why don't you guys just break up now? All tag teams end the same way. I found it very interesting. Kalani Jordan was in the background of this shot. You know, in wrestling, everything happens for a reason. Well, Andre Chase would bump into Kale Dixon, who would be watching old Chase U vignettes, and he'd say that Andre Chase was a badass. Andre Chase would say, I used to be, Chase U is dead. With Kale Dixon saying, it doesn't have to be. Guys, is this what we spoke about at the time, where we said Riley Osborne, Thea Hale, Duke Hudson couldn't be a part of Chase U, but there was nothing stopping Andre Chase starting a new Chase U? Was it Kale Dixon who called out to Andre Chase when he cleared out his office weeks ago? Could Kalani Jordan be involved in a new version of Chase U? That could be cool. What do you think? Do you want to see a new version of Chase U? Let me know in the comments section down below. This is things you might have missed from WWE NXT. Make sure you hit the like button, and if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button too. Well, Corey Graves would return to the commentary desk of NXT tonight. Vic Joseph saying it's not AI. Corey is here, live and in living colour. This news did scoop out earlier today by Corey Brennan at Fightful Select, reporting that Corey was due back at NXT tonight. Obviously, a lot of people watching to see if he actually was. Well, straight away at the start of the show, they made sure you knew he was. Corey himself saying that he's back exactly where he wants to be. Now, that's important. I think Corey needed to say that because a lot of fans wondered if he wanted to go somewhere else. There was talk of him wanting to be fired, things like that. So obviously Corey making sure fans are aware at the very start that this is actually what he wants to do. Now, I know some fans were expecting some kind of pipe bomb from Corey. No, seemingly nothing. Seemingly this isn't being turned into a work. It obviously was a very real situation that has now been resolved between Corey and WWE. Miss WWE Bayley was on NXT tonight. She's literally on every WWE show at this point. Bayley would take to the microphone saying how much she values being likened to people like Natalya, saying that she owes NXT to get rid of entitled Roxanne Perez. Unexpectedly, it was Giulia who would make the interruption. Giulia coming out praising Bayley, saying that she was a fan. Bayley was her role model and how she looks up to Bayley. I love that Bayley just stood there like nodding like, yeah, thank you. Keep the praise coming my way. Thank you very much. They would be interrupted by Roxanne and Cora. And guys, we got to talk about the nuclear heat, the boos that Roxanne and Cora got were absolutely dirty Dom level. So much so that I can't tell you what Roxanne said because honestly, I had no idea what she said. I think I heard the word "the" in there somewhere, but I don't know. The brawl was on. You knew it was coming when they come out, right? We cut to another segment. We came back, and they were still brawling through the commercial break, picture-in-picture in the United States, all the way to the back. Very fun, very unique. Very rare to see a brawl go this long in WWE, but it was good. The first match tonight saw Ridge Holland trying to win the North American title from Tony D'Angelo. Note in the background, Shawn Spears was here watching along. Now, Spears would play a massive role at the end of this match. He'd try to get involved towards the very end. Tony D'Angelo, big right hand to Spears. And as the brawl would happen on the outside of the ring, it would be Izzi Dame coming in, kicking Ridge Holland, helping Tony D'Angelo to retain the belt. What? Is he working with a Don? For weeks, we've been seeing Shawn Spears trying to recruit Izzi, and I really wonder, obviously, with Shawn Spears' involvement in this match, is Shawn Spears sort of setting Tony up for a bigger fall? Is Izzi actually with Shawn Spears, but Tony has no idea, and he's going to trust Izzi now? Wes Lee was on NXT tonight. There was some reports at the end of last year that Wes was injured. Well, he was here tonight, and I bet you he wishes he didn't show up because he got everything slapped out of him tonight. Wes Lee took one hell of a slap by Trick, so much so that when Wes would come down to the ring for his match, look at his face. Look at the handprint of Trick on the face of Wes Lee. Oh my gosh. He would wrestle Dion Lennox. Always impressive to see Dion, but of course Wes Lee would pick up the win. Trick Williams would come out after the match, and the match was set between Wes Lee and Trick Williams next week. The Heritage Cup was on the line tonight as Lexis King would defend it against Charlie Dempsey again. Story of this match, the brass knucks was in the bucket of Lexis King and he refused to use them. But at the end of the match, as it was tied 1-1, he did hit the low blow behind the referee's back. Lexis King taking advantage and picking up the win, retaining the Heritage Cup tonight. Recently, I've seen this more and more, people wanting the Heritage Cup scrapped. Not maybe permanently, but maybe being replaced by a championship title. And honestly, I'm down for that. I don't know why we still have a Heritage Cup. I don't see a lot of hype for the Heritage Cup matches. I think the chain wrestling you get during these matches is good, but you could just do it in an ordinary wrestling match. So, I don't know. Maybe it's time to update the Heritage Cup. Bianca Belair and Naomi, the attackers of Jade Cargill, were on NXT tonight, obviously ahead of next week, where they will defend the women's tag belts against Metaphors, Lash Legend, and Jakara Jackson. And credit to WWE and to NXT for booking this. All the women backstage trying to highlight the importance of bringing the women's tag team gold to NXT. Successful or not, I really do think, as we talk about changing of championships, that it's time to bring back the NXT women's tag team gold. They literally said it tonight. The best women's division on the planet, and you don't have tag belts? That's a problem. I want to be very clear when I say I have no issue, by the way, with Zaria being in a tag team with Sol Ruca. I mean, every character in wrestling goes through tag team phases. It makes sense. But what I hate and absolutely despise is that they keep putting Zaria in the background shots of women's segments for absolutely no reason. Use somebody else. At one point, before it kicked off between Jada and Carmen tonight, you literally had Zaria and Sol Ruca passing a pen and paper around. What were they doing? Playing tic-tac-toe? And then they just stood there, like, just gossiping. Like, what are we doing? Why? You have extras for this. You have people that are lower down the card for this. I ranted about it last week, and I will continue to do so because the presentation of Zaria is wrong. The promos, the vignettes they introduced her with was a post-apocalyptic scene where Zaria survived. Now, she's gossiping. What are we doing? And I know that the women's division in NXT is absolutely stacked. I know that they struggle to get people screen time. But don't put her on TV then. It's one of those things where keeping her special and keeping her off screen, and then when she appears, it feels like the apocalypse is arriving with her, is exactly how it should be with a character like Zaria. Not just hanging out in the back playing bloody tic-tac-toe. Kalani Jordan would try and interfere tonight in Jada Parker's match with Carmen Petrovic. The distraction was enough for Carmen to take advantage. Carmen Petrovic defeating Jada Parker, as it looks like we're setting up for Kalani versus Jada. Also, they changed Jada's theme song. I don't know why. Stephanie would say that she's not finished in the North American women's title scene anytime soon. She's going to be keeping an eye on Fallon Henley and Shotzi's match, and she is coming for the championship. Brooks Jensen and Nico Vance would pick up a massive win tonight, beating the family. And guys, we need to talk about Nico Vance's lariat. That clothesline, my God, JBL would be proud. What a clothesline. That is definitely a finishing move, and I'm pleased it ended the match tonight. Immediately after, the first big problem for the family as Tony D'Angelo was distracted, as we said, by Izzi Dame. Now, was Izzy doing that intentionally so Tony didn't go to ringside with his family? I think so. With DDP in the house and A-Town Down Under watching on. Our main event tonight was Oba Femi defending the NXT Championship against Eddie Thorpe. Solid match, definitely my match of the night. If you didn't know, by the way, Austin Theory was live on Instagram from that platform throughout the entire match. An old Grayson Waller trick there. Love to see that. Obafemi would win the match tonight, retaining the title, meaning next week Obafemi will be on a Grayson Waller effect on NXT and a Grayson theory. I wouldn't show up. He's gonna kill you. He's gonna stuff your radioactive coconuts up your ass. You know he is. But then it would be Trick Williams confronting the ruler. Trick wants his belt back. Will he get it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. A very solid NXT tonight. Lots of build for next week, which is always appreciated. Surprised there wasn't a lot of TNA stars, or literally any TNA stars tonight. For me, 7 out of 10 is fair. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Peace!